Hi, welcome to Yoke's YouTube channel. I'm Liz Matthew, the regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and nice to have you all here. Today we will be discussing about PGWP language test. So it's a very commonly asked question. I have my language test written and I'm really confused. How do I check my CLB, Canadian Language Benchmark? So that's what IRCC checks your language test to make sure that you do meet the requirements. So, how to check your CLB equivalency for PGWP? That's what we will be discussing today. And basically, what is your first step that you need to look at when you decide to write your language test? And which is mainly for postgraduate work permit. First is to check your CLB level. So, as per the new requirements, well, it's not new. It's been around for almost a year right now. So, confirm are you a university graduate? Then, yes, you do require a CLB 7. And while you are a college graduate, you need a CLB 5 at all of your modules. So we'll be discussing how to calculate that CLB. That's what this video is all about. And second thing is to, once you know what is your CLB requirement that you require, what are the tests that is acceptable? So the CELPIP General, IELTS General, and the PTE Core for English. These are the three accepted languages for the postgraduate work permit, as well as for your permanent residence too. These are the accepted languages by IRCC. And gather your individual scores. So retrieve your formal test scores and then know what is your individual values for your reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So that's basically how you need to set up. So if you are actually someone who is subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can see that we have done postgraduate work permit rejections are on the rise. And what is the common reason for it? One of them is the language test. That is, missing language test is a very common refusal reason nowadays. And what can be done after you have received your postgraduate work permit refusal? This is not to scare anyone, but if you or someone that you know is in that situation, you can always go to our YouTube channel and watch that video. And then if you are someone looking to help out with your language preparations, say your IELTS or PTE Core language preparations, we also do have preparation classes that do help you to prepare for your language tests. And reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you out if you do require assistance. And so let's go into how to calculate our CLB. So CLB, how to find that CLB chart. So if you actually type in Google CLB equivalency for postgraduate work permit, you will see in the first search right there, select that and who can apply. And you will see a chart right there. It will show for your IELTS, CELPIP, and PTE, your CLB conversions for your reading, writing, speaking, and your listening. What is your levels that are for each of those requirements? So that's a place where you could go ahead and check what is your CLB conversion for each of those language tests. So for PTE Core, it's very much different from CELPIP General. What is the language, the reading, writing, listening, and speaking conversion to CLB? So this is where the chart IRCC has already prepared it, and you can go check it out over there as per the search that was provided. And then an example of your IELTS test. So if you have already written your IELTS test, you would have received a scorecard. A scorecard will have your name, your details, and mainly your test results, which is your listening, reading, writing, and your speaking. So the score that you see on your scorecard, that is not converted into CLB, but that's something that you have to do the conversion to make sure you have the required CLB. So let's look at an example. So someone who has reading 7 would have a CLB 9, and someone who has a writing 6.5 will get a CLB 8, and someone who has a listening score in IELTS General for 7.5 has a CLB 8, and someone who has a speaking of 7 in their scorecard would get a CLB 9. So that's how you see the comparison right there. So as I just said, 7.5 is equivalent to CLB 8, and a reading 7 is equivalent to a CLB 9, and a writing 6.5 is equivalent to CLB 8, and a speaking 7 would be a CLB 9. So this is just for IELTS. So if you are someone who has taken the CELPIP General, then you would pick the CELPIP General tab on the IRCC website, and then you will see the breakdown right there. Same for PTE Core as well. Do that comparison and do make sure that in each of the modules you have the CLB 7 in each of the modules if you have graduated from a university, or if you have graduated from a college. In each of those modules, in each, say, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, in each one of them you get at least a 5, CLB 5 in each of those modules. That is the requirement for postgraduate work permit. As you all know, the target is always to score the maximum, be it for your permanent residence. So say in case you wrote for your postgraduate work permit, you already wrote your language test. If you target yourself to score a higher score, then in most cases you don't have to redo it, as your language scores are good for 2 years, and you can use the same results even for your options as well. So please do make wise, informed decisions not to write your postgraduate work permit language test at the last. Don't wait until you get your transcripts and then write your language test. Try to plan yourself and prepare yourself so you are writing your language tests ahead of time, like ahead of your graduation. So you are not just waiting for your language score results and then apply for your postgraduate work permit. These are things that you could initiate yourself ahead of time, and we are always here to help you out, be it preparation in your language score or to prepare you for your PR application. We are always a call away. Reach out to us for help and always stay informed. And if you found this video really helpful, please do subscribe to our channel, and we are on Instagram as well. See you all in the next video.